Good day, YouTube. This is Jade Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just another Warren Buffett video here. I come across this article. Looked kind of interesting. See who out there has this one. So this is the top 10 Warren Buffett stocks. And as I've told you many times, I'm here in Omaha. So is Warren Buffett. So anytime I come across one of his articles, it's always kind of interesting, so thought I'd throw that out there. So, but I've talked about him before, a little bit about Berkshire, so which Buffett is the CEO of Berkshire, the Berk B shares there. It's a holding company that owns a highly diversified portfolio of different businesses and stocks. Holdings in the company's equity portfolio tend to perform very well. So the following 10 stocks ranked by the percentage share of Berkshire's overall equity portfolio. All figures are sourced from the company's most recent 13F filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, dated on May 16th. So a lot of these that I've talked about on the channel already, but the best ofs is Apple. He hasn't been in Apple too terribly long, just got into it a while back and wasn't even in Apple for quite some time, but I think he's already made quite a bit of money on Apple, and last I heard, I thought they had sold out of it, but here it shows they still have it. So but Berkshire's stake is 5.6. Value of the stake is $125 billion. Shares of the portfolio is 39.5%. And next on the list is Bank of America. I've talked about Bank of America a time or two, and I still own some shares. But they have 12.8%. Value at $32 billion. Shares are 10.1%. Next is Coke. I've talked about them as well. I own some Coke, so their stake is 9.2%, valued at $25 billion. Last I heard, I don't know, I'd have to Google it. I heard at one point in time, just off of Coke alone, he makes like $100 million just off of the dividend. So just kind of mind-blowing. But and next is Chevron. I did a couple videos about Chevron a month or two or three ago. Sold out of mine and could have made a little bit more, but just wanted to get rid of it. So but next is Chevron. They have a stake at 8.1%, valued at $23 billion. Again, another, probably they're making dividends on. That's why we should back up and see if every one of these have dividends. Apple has dividend, Bank of America, Coke, Chevron, American Express. I have some American Express that also pays a dividend. Their stake is 28.1%, valued at $21 billion. So they're just making millions, tens or hundreds of millions on dividends. Next is Kraft Heinz, another dividend player at 26.6%, valued at $12.5 billion. BYDDF, Berkshire stake is 7.7. This one, I'm not for sure if they have a dividend. I wouldn't be surprised if they do or don't. I'm sure they do. But next is Occidental Petroleum Corp. I was going to do a video on this one earlier, as I've talked about this one once or twice in the last month or so, and it was a really popular one there at a point in time, and I'm not for sure how popular it is right now. But they have a 16.4% in that one, only $9 billion in that one. So next is Moody's Corp, MCO. I'm not familiar with this one either. Their stake is 13.4%. Value of the stake at $6.7 billion. Next is US Bank Corp, USB. I'm sure USB has a dividend. A lot of banks do. Their stake is 9.7, valued at $6.6 billion. And this kind of goes over why investors love Warren Buffett. He began his career as an investor when he was just 11 years old. I think that's when he bought his first share of Coke and has never sold a share. And his strategy is marked by equal parts patience and appreciation of the value of long-term investing. So he took over Berkshire Hathaway in the 1960s and turned it into a holding company with subsidiaries in various industries, including insurance is a big one. I'm sure you've heard of Geico. He owns that. Rail freight, I can't remember which railroad, is it Union Pacific or which one, and some energy. So again, all dividend-paying stocks. Regarding stock performance, Berkshire Hathaway has a legacy of strong returns. The B had a 60% 5-year return and a 229% 10-year return. To put those numbers in perspective, consider the SPY, an exchange-traded fund that tracks the performance of the S&P 500 index, had a 57% 5-year return and 180% 10-year return, so it's quite a difference. 60 and 229 as opposed to 57 and 180, so can't go wrong with Warren, but I don't give tax, legal, or trading advice, so just state my opinion about the article here. But Buffett's success, remember that he is an advocate of the index funds, but if you want to institute his investment strategy in your own portfolio, focus on investing in businesses rather than the latest hot stock, and plan on holding that portfolio for the long term. So that's what he does. With a market capitalization of over $600 billion, Berkshire is the largest financial stock in the U.S. market, and among the 10 largest U.S. public companies, Berkshire owns and operates a diverse range of portfolio companies, including familiar names like Geico, Duracell, Dairy Queen, Fruit of the Loom, and Clayton Homes. Roots date back to Berkshire Cotton Manufacturing Company in Adams, Massachusetts, established in 1889, and Hathaway Manufacturing Company, founded in 1888 in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Buffett bought a failing textile company in 1964 and then began using it as a platform to invest in other companies and industries. Core of the Berkshire business has long been insurance, which provides steady cash flow and invest in other holdings. So, next. But that is about it for that article. Just thought that was kind of interesting. If you have any of these, you can list that in the comments. So we have U.S. Bancorp, Moody's Corp, Oxy Petroleum, BYD, Kraft, AXP, American Express, Chevron, Coke. I have a couple of these, the majority of them. Apple, so can't go wrong with Apple. I think I was up 200% on that one at one time when it was in the 170 price. I think it's still around the 130 range, but that's it for his top 10. So if you want to be just like him, you could probably copy the top 10 and put some money in some of his B shares, and if you have 450-some thousand, you could probably do the A shares as well. I'm not sure where that one's sitting right at the point in time, but I think it's in between 400 and 500 a share. And like I said, I've covered Warren a couple times, so I'll link those videos in the description as well. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is J Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing. Stay green. Cheers.